Hello students, I am again here with one more important question for your Java interview preparation. Explain about public static void main string args. What is this? This is the main function in a Java program. Means every Java program should have this main function for its execution. Suppose you have written any class like class xyz and inside that you have not written this main function, then no any compilation error, but at the time of execution it will generate runtime exception, no such method error. That type of error you will get at runtime. Means runtime error you will get like this, no such method error. Which method? Main method. Okay, because for execution main method having this prototype is compulsory in Java program. Getting? Now if we have written this type of main method inside our class, then your program will execute. That's it. Otherwise it will generate error like no such method error. Which method? Main method. Now see why this type of prototype we have to follow compulsory. Means we have to write like public static void main string array args. It is compulsory to write a main method like this. Okay, some changes, modifications are allowed. What are those changes? I am going to explain, don't worry. But before that you must know what is the meaning of this public, static, void, main, everything. And after that what changes are allowed in that, which main method is applicable, which main method is not applicable, everything I am going to discuss. Suppose we have written any main method having some different prototype, like we have not written here public, suppose, means by default the default access modifier is there. Again suppose we have not written this void, we have written suppose int as a return type, then that is not allowed. Means that main method will not be considered as a execution starting point, because JVM is going to execute your Java program and JVM is always searching for this method for a execution starting point. From this method you can call any other method, but this method should be there in your Java program for JVM, because in JVM this main method having this same prototype is configured internally. That's why compulsory JVM will search for this main method. Suppose you want to modify the name of this main method, is it allowed? No. Actually inside JVM this name like main main is configured. That's why you have to compulsory follow this name and then only this will be considered as the execution starting point. Okay, and some is only suppose you are writing this M capital, then also it is not allowed. Getting? Here compulsory you have to write all the letters in small case. Name should be the same. Again one more point, see instead of this main you want to change the name, then you have to change JVM. Okay, means you have to configure JVM as per your need, then only you can do this, but normally we will not do that task. You have to just follow the same thing, you have to write main only here. Now what is the meaning of whole prototype? Step by step I am going to explain. See public, this public is what? This is a modifier. In Java there are multiple modifiers, those we can apply to methods, classes, variables. Okay, some modifiers are only applicable for methods, some are applicable for all. Okay, like this public, protected, private, static modifier is there. Okay, now from that here I have used two modifiers like public and static. These two modifiers you can write in any sequence, means first static then public or first public then static, both are allowed. Now what is the meaning of public? Why this method we have to compulsory declare as a public? Because this method is going to be executed by JVM in a class. Suppose you have written any method public, then only it is accessible, otherwise it is not accessible everywhere. Main is going to be called by JVM, that's why it should be public. Then static, see you know this static modifier, static method, this main is now static method. What is the meaning of static method? Static methods means class method. It is associated with the class, not only associated with any particular instance or object. Okay, Means suppose you have created any static method, then only using class name dot you can call that static method, because that is not belonging to any particular instance or object. See here, JVM is going to call this main method. That's why JVM is not going to create any object for calling this method. Method should be called by JVM without creation of any object, and for that we have to compulsory declare this main method as a static. That's why this main is a static prototype. You have to follow like this. Okay, the next one is void. See, this is a return type. Method can return a value, and if method is not returning anything, then we mention return type of that method as a void. Okay, but main method is executed by JVM, called by JVM, and there is no need to return anything to that JVM through this main, and that's why the return type is void. Main, it is configured in JVM, the name should be like this, and that's why you have to write here main. And in round brackets here I have passed one array of strings. Okay, this is an array of strings, args string array, and this is nothing but a command line argument. Whenever you will run this program through command prompt, then you can pass input to that program with the help of this command line argument. The arguments passed through command prompt are nothing but command line arguments, and those are cached in this string array. In the form of strings only you can pass input to the Java program through command prompt. Okay, means whatever you will pass, that will be considered as a string, and that will be collected inside this string array, and you can use those string arguments in your main method. Getting? And that's why you have to follow this prototype while writing main method in Java program. This is a execution starting point, compulsory keep in mind. Now see, what is the meaning of this public static void main? Once again I am repeating, public means everywhere it is accessible. Now this main method is going to be called by JVM. JVM is going to call this main method. That's why it should be accessible to JVM, and that's why you have to declare it as a public. Static means this method will become a class method, static method, and for calling this method there is now no need to create any object, any instance. JVM is not responsible for creation of any object while calling this main method. Okay, and that's why it should be static. Now void is a return type of this main method. To the JVM there is no need to return any value from this main. Okay, and that's why the return type is void. Main is a name of main method. This is compulsory, this is configured inside JVM, we have to use as it is. Okay, and then string array, this array is nothing but a command line argument. You are going to execute this Java program through command prompt, and while executing, suppose you want to pass anything as an input to that Java program, then you can pass, and that will be collected in this string array. Okay, this is the overall explanation of public static void main string args. You have to compulsory follow this same prototype. If any other main in the same class, same Java program you are writing, then that is also okay, but that is not considered as a execution starting point. Means main method can be overloaded. Method overloading means multiple methods having same name, but argument should be different. Okay, that type of main method you can write in the same Java program, but execution will start from this main only. Okay, if you are calling the other main through this main or any other method through this main, then only control will be shifted towards that method. Okay, now some points you have to keep in mind, that this public and static, these are two modifiers. The sequence of modifier is not compulsory that it should be like this. You can modify the sequence of modifiers, means first static then public, first public then static. In any sequence you can write these two modifiers while writing this main method. This is the first point. Second point is, see here, this you have written here string args. This is an array of strings that you can write in this way. So string, then here instead of writing that square bracket here, you can write after args also. This is also One more syntax of declaration of array in Java that is perfectly valid again, that you can use here. Okay, but compulsory remember this S is a capital. Why? Because this is a class, it is a inbuilt class. Okay, again one more, you can write like this string, then here you can write that square bracket before args. In this way, that is again perfectly valid, means here you can use any syntax of declaration of string array. Okay, next point is, see here I have written args. It is not compulsory always to write args. You can write here anything, any valid identifier you can use here, but always go for this. This is always preferable. Okay, this is always better to use args. Next thing is, in Java 1.5 version, one new concept is introduced, that is nothing but variable arguments. Var args means we can pass any number of arguments to the method, that is nothing but a var args, variable argument concept, that again we can use here. Means here args, this stands for multiple elements, multiple strings, number of strings. Okay, it is not fixed, you can pass any number of strings here, and that's why you can also use here variable arguments syntax while declaring this array like this. Instead of string square bracket args, you can write like this string ... args. In this way also you can declare this string array, okay, in the form of variable arguments, but this is introduced in 1.5 version. After that you can use this. Okay, now but see, this is again preferable, don't go for this, this is okay. But if someone is using this, someone is asking that is it correct or not, yes it is correct, it is valid. See, public static, these are two compulsory modifiers, and again some other modifiers also you can attach while declaring this main, like you can also attach final modifier. Again you can attach that synchronized, means only one thread can call this main method at a time, that synchronized modifier also you can attach while writing this main method. Again there is one more strict FP, strict floating point, that modifier again you can use while declaring this main method. Okay, but that is allowed, but with public static you can add those modifiers. Public and static is compulsory, but again some extra modifiers like final, synchronized, strict FP you can write here while declaring that main method. Getting? This is all about main method in Java. Every Java program should have this main method having the same prototype, this prototype, for its execution. There may be multiple main methods in your Java program, but execution start point is nothing but this one only. Okay, now keep in mind these points. In the next session I am going to explain one more important question for your Java interview preparation. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Thank you.